Okay, good day everyone. And I would like to discuss to you regarding the parasitic agent of the plant diseases. If we say parasitic agent of the plant diseases, it is all about the living organism that may infect the plants, especially in the biotic parasites. So what are the biotic parasites or the pathogen or pathogenic agent that may infect our plants? Number one is the virus and the viroids. So kapag sinabi nating virus, so we are referring to the ultramicroscopic and they are obligate parasite. Kapag sinabi nating obligate parasite, they do not transform in any food wherein meron lang silang target na organism or a parasite, and that is a living organism. So the virus also enclosed by a protein coat called the capsid. So it means ang nagko-cover sa kanya para maproteksyonan yung tinatawag na nucleic acid na meron sa kanya is the capsid or the protein coat. Okay? So para makasurvive siya. And then we have also the virus is made up of DNA and the RNA. Okay? While the viroid is made up of only RNA or single-stranded RNA molecules. So there are extensive base pairing in parts of the RNA strand, and the viroid only infect plants. So it cannot infect human beings, cannot infect animals, but rather it only infect plants because it composes only a ribonucleic acid. While the virus can infect all, especially the animals and the people. Okay, and also the plants. Wherein ang plants natin, ang people and animals containing the RNA and DNA. So, doon siya mismo, yun mismo yung kanyang target. Okay? So, meron tayong mga types ng viruses. We have the helical virus, the polyhedral, spherical, and complex virus. So, if we say helical, one of the example of helical is the tobacco mosaic virus. So, ito or ganito yung kanyang structure. So, outside the RNA of the virus or the DNA of the virus, there is so-called uh, capsid. And ang tawag sa individual capsid that attach in the RNA is the capsomer. While yung kabuuan mismo nung nakakover or the protein covered by the RNA is so-called the capsid. The polyhedral is one of most of the virus na kung saan ay tinatarget niya ang mga animals wherein it contain the adenovirus. While the spherical, ang mga example dito is the influenza virus, and the complex naman yun yung mga bacteriophage. Okay, isa-isahin natin para mas maintindihan natin. Ano? So, the helical virus is a virus that has a capsid shaped in a filamentous or a rod-shaped structure. So, kapag sinabi nating rod-shaped structure, padiretso. Okay? Wherein ay horizontally yung kanyang structure or vertically yung kanyang structure. That has a central cavity and that encloses its nucleic acid. So, the example of the helical virus in animals is the influenza virus, the measles, the mumps, rabies, and the Ebola virus. While sa polyhedral virus naman, they have many sizes or sided viruses, and their capsid can different number of sided. Okay, so merong mga different sided yung kanyang uh, capsids. Okay, and they have a nucleic acid, and they are commonly shaped like an icosahedron. Example sana ng mga ito ay yung adenovirus na sinabi ko kanina. And then we have also the spherical virus. So icosahedral shape made up of the equilateral triangles. Okay, so meron siyang icosahedral shape because of these filaments or kaya yung extra structure attaches to the circle component ng virus natin. So ang tawag dito hindi siya bilog kundi spherical virus. So ang mga example dito ay yung mga Tomato-Bashi stunt virus, the Ricetongro spherical virus, the influenza virus, and the COVID virus. Okay? And then we have also the very unique complex virus. So this virus structure have combination of icosahedral and helical virus. Did you know that the complex virus ay nagkaroon ng fusion yung mismong bacteria and the virus. So ganito yung kanyang structure. So the head-tail morphology structure is unique to the virus. So meron siyang head-tail wherein nandito yung component ng nucleic acid or the DNA and RNA. At meron din siyang tinatawag na sheets, pin, and the tail fiber. So these are known as bacteriophages. So the example are the cucumber mosaic virus, cowpea mosaic virus. Okay? So meron din tayong mga symptoms caused by the virus. The, the symptoms are, in general ito ha, sa general symptoms ng mga virus, we have dwarfing. So take note of the keyword for our virus. And then stunting. Kapag sinabi natin stunting, hindi na siya lumalaki. They are stunted. Nagiging bansot or nagiging bonsai type. Banshee top, tungro, mosaic, and virus symptoms, it shorten the length and easily overlooked, striking symptoms, systemic infection, chlorotic, and necrotic lesion. So ganito yung example ng isang mosaic. So ang mosaic nagsishrink or something, hindi na siya lumalaki, or nakikita natin na nagkakaroon ng necrotic lesions. Kapag sinabi nating necrotic lesions, ito yung pahaba yung kanyang lesions. Kapag necrotic or only lesions, it means spots, I should say. So kapag sinabi nating lesion, it means spot lang siya, yung kanyang structure. Pero kapag necrotic na siya, it means meron namang naiiwan na mga green pigment doon sa leaves niya, and then the other parts are yellowing, na kung saan may pa-diretso, may pa-triangle, may pa-rectangle, may pa-oblong na shape ng mga yellow or chlorotic symptoms. So that is so-called necrotic lesions. Okay? Necrotic means iba-iba yung shape. Pero kapag sinabi naman nating lesion lang, so it means ay bilog lang yung shape niya. So spot, okay? Spot or lesion. So meron tayong mga diseases caused by the virus. Number one is the mosaic. So ano yung mga tinatarget ng mosaic? Si tobacco virus, cucurbits, tomato, banana, and cassava. Ang nagdadala mismo ng disease na ito or ang vector ng disease na ito are the aphids. Okay, aphids sa mosaic virus. And then, ito yung picture ng mosaic virus natin sa eggplant and also doon sa ating radish. Okay? So sa Abacavir virus naman, ang nagdadala ng sakit dito or ang vector ng Abacavir virus is the banana aphids or the Pentalonia nigronervosa. So ganito ang itsura niya, nagkakaroon ng anong tawag doon? Shorten nung mismong stem, and at the same time hindi makalago yung leaves niya. Kaya nagiging bonsai type or banshee. Okay? Kaya tinawag siyang banshee top because in the crown of the banana ay hindi na makapag-expand kundi ay maliit na lang yung kanyang sheets. And then we have also tungro. The tungro virus are found in the rice plant, wherein ang pwedeng makaapekto dito or magdala ng virus na ito is the green leaf hopper or Nepothetix virescens. Okay? The viruses are efficiently detected from infected leaves in the ELISA and less efficiently by the latex tests. So, ganito ang itsura ng rice virus, nag-yellowing yung mismong parts ng plants natin, wherein considered na ito ay hindi na mismo makokontrol kapag fully na-establish na yung tungro doon sa field natin. So, wala nang gamot kapag meron nang naka-establish na tungro. Kasi nga, ang tinarget mismo ng virus na ito ay yung RNA and DNA ng plants natin. And we have also the Grassistan virus. So, ang nagdadala ng Grassistan or stunted grassy or rice Grassistan virus ay yung plant hopper. Okay? So, the plant hopper ang nagkukos ng Grassistan. Yung hindi na mismo makalaki dahil sinap na mismo yung kanyang liquid or yung mismong present na latex doon sa plants na yon, na nutrients sana nung mismong plants pero kinakain na mismo ng plant hopper. Okay? So, ang tanong, why viroid are smaller than virus? So, bakit napakaliit nung viroid natin kesa virus? Ang pinakarason dito is because absent ang protein coat or ang capsid doon ah, sa mismong viroid. While yung virus natin, meron siyang contain of capsid. Kaya siya yung pinakamaliit among all the pathogen. Okay? So, absent ang viroid dito sa ah, absent ang protein coat sa viroid while yung virus is present. Yung mismong protein coat that covered yung structure ng virus natin. Okay? Paano naman sila magkatulad? Saan sila nagkakatulad itong dalawa? So, they contain a nucleic acid. So, meron silang nucleic acid na kung saan they are both replicate in a cell. So, our plant pathogen that a highly complement consists of a short stray or stretch stray, circular and stranded or single-stranded RNA without the protein coat that is typically for the virus. Okay? So, yan. So magkahalintulad si virus at viroid dahil meron silang nucleic acid na kung saan ay parehas silang nagre-replicate in the cell. Okay? So there are plant pathogen that highly complement consists of a short stretch tray, circular stranded RNA without the protein coat that is typically for the virus. So meron tayong mga types ng viroids. We have the pospiviridae and the Absun viroidae. So kapag sinabi nating pospiviridae, ang mga example nito ay yung mga potato spindle tuber viroid, the hopstand viroid, and the coconut kadang-kadang, apple scar skin viroid, and the Coleus blumei viroid. So this viroid composed of RNA that imported into the nucleus and copied by the plant DNA dependent RNA polymerase II. As you can see, ang Pospiviridae is vertically yung kanyang structure. Okay? Vertically yung kanyang structure. And or horizontally. Padiretso siya or horizontally yung kanyang structure. But mostly na mga Pospiviridae, they are rod-like structure. So hindi nila binabanggit yung shape na vertical or horizontal yung position. Kundi, but rather, ang ginagamit nila na word is rod-like structure. Okay? Either yan ay vertical or horizontal yung structure ng mismong viroid na yan. So meron tayong mga example ng mga viroid or mga pospiviridae, pero no need na to memorize or familiarize, but rather to inform you na hindi lang pala iisa or dadalawa ang mga pospiviridae, kundi marami din pala siyang component. Okay? Or madami pala siyang ini-infect. Not only tomato, but also yung mga citrus, yung coconut, and grapevine. Okay? So, we have also the Abson Vero Day. So, kapag sinabi nating Abson Vero Day, rod-like branch regions. So, it means ay meron siyang branch region. So, as you can see ay nakahiwalay mismo yung rod-like structure niya sa branch region. So the viroid RNA is imported into the chloroplasts and complementary concatenated RNA are produced by the chloroplast, dependent the RNA polymerase. So as you can see, meron tayong tinatawag na positive Absun viroidae and negative Absun viroidae. So kapag sinabi nating positive, eto mismo yung nakikita mo yung symptoms niya. While kapag negative, avocado sunblotch viroid, it means ay latent infection siya. Pag sinabi nating latent infection, asymptomatic, hindi mo nakikita yung kanyang symptoms. Okay? But rather, tsaka mo lang makikita or mafa-found out once na hindi na siya namunga, hindi na siya lumaki, or something kapag dinisect mo, nandun pala yung sakit na yon. So, ganun yung ibig sabihin. Okay? So, meron tayong types of transmission ng viroid. We have the vertical transmission and the horizontal transmission. So kapag sinabi nating vertical transmission, ang mga example ng mga vertical ay yung mga potato spindle tuber. Okay? So they transmit through both viroid-infected ovule and the pollen. So kapag self-pollinated, yung mismong plants wherein merong infected na pollen sa taas and then they transmit it in the ovary. So ang mangyayari ay nagkaroon ng self-pollinations wherein yung infection ng viroid ay pwedeng maapektuhan yung ovary ng ating plants. So ang tawag doon, self-pollination. Okay? Self-pollination means vertical transmission. Okay? And then kapag sinabi naman natin horizontal transmission, it is cross-pollinations. So nanggaling ito sa ibang plants. Okay? Ang mga example nito ay yung mga tomato planta macho viroid. Okay? So ito cross-pollinated. Ito naman ay uh, single pollinations or self-pollinations. Okay? So meron tayong mga disease ng ating viroid. We have the kadang-kadang or coconut kadang-kadang. Okay? Ganito yung kanyang itsura. Yung kanyang crown ay bigla-bigla na lang nafo-fall or natatanggal. Okay? And then the potato spindle tuber or the potato. So yung sizes ng potato natin instead na bilog ay nagiging oblong or something thin yung kanyang structure. Okay? So yan yung mga example ng viroid. So punta naman tayo sa bacteria. So kapag sinabi nating bacteria, they are unicellular or prokaryotic. Okay? So meron siyang binary fission and they enter through natural openings and wounds. So tsaka lang naman pumapasok si bacteria kapag merong mga open pores, may mga wound, or mga mechanical wounded yung mismong plants. That's the time the bacteria will activate on that particular plants, especially kapag yan ay susceptible. So ang kanyang size ng bacteria natin is 1 to 2 micrometer in size and nagfo-form siya ng ooze. Okay, nagfo-form siya ng ooze. So trivia lang, alam nyo ba na ang bacteria natin, it composed of billion number of bacterial cell are found in only single teaspoon of soil or topsoil. While makikita mo doon na merong 120,000 fungal cell and 25,000 algal cells. So the genetic material of bacteria consists of a single DNA molecule suspended in the cell cytoplasm. So the bacteria do not have a true nucleus as do animal plants and fungi. So uh, meron siyang cells but not a true nucleus. Okay? So internationally, the first bacterial disease ever discovered in the animals is the anthrax. They are caused by Bacillus anthracis of the cattle. Ang nangyayari, dumudugo yung kanyang ilong. So kapag dumudugo yung ilong niya, meron siyang sakit na anthrax. So it was discovered noong 1876. So the discovery of anthrax in the cattle was immediately followed by the discovery of the fire blight of pear and apple or yung Erwinia amylovora. So ang nakadiscover dito ay si T.J. Burrill. So yung first na bacterial infection sa animals na na-discover is the anthrax. Ang first naman na na-discover sa plants is the fire blight of pear and apple. Okay, yung nagre-red mismo yung leaves niya. So, caused by bacteria. So, meron tayong mga types of homologous recombination sa bacteria. If we say homologous recombination, this is the type of genetic recombination in which the nucleotide sequences are exchanged between the two similar or identical molecule of the DNA. So it is a major mechanism of the DNA repair and facilitate the incorporations into the DNA or genetic materials received via the horizontal gene transfer and transformations. So kapag sinabi nating homologous means yung transformation niya hindi nag-iiba, kundi iisa lang siya. Okay? Iisa lang. Kaya nga tinawag siyang homo means the same. Kapag hetero naman means different. Okay? So yung sinasabi nating homologous recombination is nag-a-adapt kasi yung mismong bacteria natin. Kapag example sana, square yung donor or kaya yung mismong bacteria. And then, the homologous recombinations niya, circle. So it means the same lahat na circle. So genetic recombinations is when the genes from two different sources are combined to form a new genetic recombinations. So kapag sinabi nating homologous, pare-pareho yung kanyang structure. Na either square man siya, pagpasok niya sa plants naging bilog, it means nagkakaroon ng adaptations. So, pero pare-pareho pa rin yung kanyang structure. So that is so-called homologous recombinations. So, meron tayong mga transformations or something na pagbabago ng mismong bakterya natin. So, kapag sinabi nating transformation, pag papasok na mismo sa loob ng plants, yung mismong bakterya ay nag-a-adapt. So, once na nag-a-adapt siya doon, it means it transforms something para at least maging ma-adapt niya yung mismong environment sa loob ng plants. So, it is the uptake of exogenous DNA from the surrounding environment. Okay, pagpasok niya kasi, example sana, this is the wound. And then, pagpasok ng mismong bakterya, syempre, mag-freeze muna yung kanyang lifespan or life cycle. Wherein, mag-a-adapt muna siya doon sa loob ng plants. Once na nakapag-adapt na siya, that's the time na there is so-called transduction. Doon sa transduction, movable na siya or it transfer of portion of DNA from one bacteria uh, to another by bacteriophage. So it means once na nakapag-adapt, that's the time na magkakaroon na ng tinatawag na transduction. Kapag sinabi nating transduction, mag-move na siya sa cell. Once na mag-move sa cell, it means meron siyang itatransfer na mga phage DNA kung kaya bang i-accept ng plants. Meron siyang itatransfer na mga component para mag-fuse doon sa loob ng cell ng plants natin. Once na nag-fuse at tinanggap mismo ng plants yung mismong reaction ng bacteria, that's the time na magiging susceptible na siya doon sa bacteria na yon. Pero kapag hindi niya tinanggap or something namatay yung bacteria, it means they are resistant or tolerant. Pero kapag tinanggap niya, it means they are susceptible and ina-accept niya mismo yung bacteria na yon. Kasi nga, ang ginagawa kasi ng pathogen is nagke-create siya or kino-colonize niya yung isang cell wherein dapat katulad niya din. Okay? So, nagta-transform siya na dapat katulad niya. Okay? And then we have also the conjugations. Once na nakapasok sa cell, and the F plasmid will responsible para makapasok sa mga recipient. Okay? Para makapasok siya sa recipient, meron siyang pilus. So, pilus. So, yung pilus ang nagiging bridge upang sa ganon makapasok si F plasmid doon sa mismong recipient. Kasi si recipient is a healthy cell. Okay? So, once na nakapag-connect na siya dito, parang zombie lang na kapag kinagat mo yung tao, magiging zombie din. Once na ikaw ay zombie. So, it means mai-infect din siya. And then, ang gagawin naman ni F plasmid ay it will enter in the phylus structure or the phylus responsible in connecting yung two or fusion nung two cells para makapasok si F plasmid. At once na nakapasok si F plasmid sa loob mismo ng recipient, doon siya magre-replicate. So once na nagkaroon ng replications at na-infect na mismo ito, tutubo ng pilus yung mismong new donor or yung recipient. And that's the time na infected na din siya. So ganito yung nagiging scenario kapag bacterial infection. Okay? Unahin natin sa conjugations kapag infected na or meron si bacteria. So ito yung structure ng bacteria, bacterial cell, Ito naman yung structure ng cell ng plants. Wala siyang phylus and wala siyang F plasmid. But it contain a chromosomal DNA. Pero dahil merong component na ng bacteria sa loob ng plants, si bacteria ang responsible sa pag-transfer ng mga F plasmid para maging infected na rin si recipient. At ang recipient ay yung natural cell na nandun sa loob ng plants. And kapag ganito na yung nangyari sa ating mga plants, that's the time na sila ay pwedeng ang mag-take over or mag-colonize ay yung mismong bacteria. So mamamatay na mismo yung plants natin kasi iba na yung nagti-take over doon sa operations ng plants. So trivia lang, alam nyo ba na si Anthony van Leeuwenhoek credited with the discovery of bacteria noong 1676. Okay? Siya yung nag-discover ng bacteria. So, ang first bacterial disease na na-discover sa Pilipinas noong 1918 ay ang bacterial leafy streak or the Xanthomonas oryzae pathovar oryzicola. Okay? So meron tayong mga types ng flagella ng bacteria. We have the Atricus, Monotricus, Lopotricus, Amphitricus, Amphilopotricus, and Diperitricus. So kapag sinabi nating Atricus, it means absent or the flagella is absent. So walang flagella, wala siyang buntot. Okay? Ang tawag doon Atricus. So ang mga example dito ay yung Lactobacillus and the Pasteurella. So, alam nyo ba ng Atricus ang isa sa safe na bacteria na pwede nating i-intake kasi nga nakakatulong siya sa digestions, nakakatulong siya sa ating katawan. Okay? Ang Atricus. Like yung Lactobacillus na component ng Yakult. Yan. Lactobacillus. And then we have also the Monotricus. Kapag sinabi nating Monotricus, single flagella. Okay, iisa lang yung kanyang buntot. And then kapag Lopotricus naman, multiple flagella at the same location or the same spot. So ganito yung itsura niya. So kapag madaming buntot yung iisang location, Lopotricus ang tawag doon. And then kapag sinabi naman nating Amphitricus, single flagella on each two opposite ends. So, dalawa yung mismong buntot niya sa magkabilaang end ng mismong uh, cell ng ating bacteria. Okay? Magkaiba yung flagella sa phylus ha. So, kapag phylus, it means nasa loob na ng cell yon. Ito naman ay structure mismo ng bacteria sa labas. Okay? Amphilopotricus naman, this is a segmented filamentous bacterium wherein ay multiple yung kanyang buntot sa magkabilaang opposite ends ng ating flagella, ng ating bacteria, I should say. And then we have also the peritricus. Kapag sinabi nating peritricus, multiple flagella. So lahat nung side nung bacteria natin ay merong buntot. Okay? So that is Peritricus. So punta naman tayo sa genera of the plant pathogenic bacteria. Number one is the Pseudomonas. Kapag sinabi nating Pseudomonas, gram-negative siya, non-spore forming. So hindi sila nag-form ng spores. The only pathogen that form spores is the fungi. Produces yellow pigment and it causes parenchymatous disease. Okay? Example sana, Ralstonia solanacearum. Okay? Okay? So, another one is the Xanthomonas. Ang Xanthomonas natin, gram-negative, non-spore forming, and monotricous siya. Wherein, kapag sinabi nating non-spore forming, hindi siya nag-create ng spores. Pero meron tayong mga genera na nag-create ng spores ng mga bacteria. We have ang mga spore forming natin ng mga bacteria. Pero yung spores ng bacteria na ito, hindi siya nag-create ng diseases. Hindi siya nakakapag-transfer ng diseases. But rather, nag-create siya ng spores kasi yun yung kanyang structure. Wherein ay kapag lumipad yung mismong spores niya sa ibang mga plants, hindi naman siya maapektuhan. So it means hindi siya active spores, ano? Pero meron tayong mga bacteria na nagke-create ng spores. Number one is the Bacillus. Yan. We have the Bacillus, Clostridium, 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 and the Desulfotomaculum. Ayan. Desulfo, Desulfotomaculum. Tomaculum. Okay? So, yan yung mga genera na nagpo-produce ng spores. Ito lumalabas kasi sa void. So, yung Bacillus, Clostridium, they are spore forming. Pero yung spores niya ay inactive. Okay? Hindi siya nakakapag-create ng sakit. Unlike sa fungi or fungi. Okay? So, it produces yellow pigment that insoluble in water. Ang mga example ng mga Xanthomonas natin ay yung Xanthomonas citri, Xanthomonas albillenians, Xanthomonas oryzae, Xanthomonas oryzicola. Okay? Ganito yung structure or ganito yung sakit ng Xanthomonas citri. So, parang bumubukol-bukol siya. And then we have also the Erwinia. Ang Erwinia is a gram-negative, non-spore forming, and Peritricus flagella. Okay? Ang structure niya. And it causes vascular parenchymal diseases. Example sana yung mga Erwinia chrysanthemi, Amylovora, Caratovorum, and Erwinia stewart. So yan yung mga example ng Erwinia. Okay? Lima lang yung ipapakita ko dito na genera ng ating bacteria wherein ito yung mga mostly na nakikita sa field. Okay? So yung Agrobacterium, gram-negative siya, Peritricus flagella, non-spore forming din, and it occurs in soil, plant roots, or stems. And it causes hypertrophy and hyperplasia. Nagkakaroon ng enlargement. And ang mga example dito ay yung Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Okay? Next, we have also the Corynebacterium, gram-negative, non-spore forming, and stimulates the hyperplasia. Nagkakaroon ng enlargement or abnormal enlargement. And it show a club-shaped swelling and it contain irregular staining segment and granules. Okay? So ang mga example dito ay yung Corynebacterium michiganense. Okay? So meron tayong mga list name of the bacterial plant pathogen and the disease they can cause in the Philippines. Number one is the pink disease of pineapple. So, Acetobacter aceti or Gluconobacter oxidans. So, ganito yung itsura ng pink disease of pineapple. Crown gall in roses or Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Ang kanyang ini-infect ay yung mga grapes, raspberry, blackberries, and roses. So, nagkakaroon ng cell enlargement. Raton stunting disease in sugarcane or the Clavibacter psili or in the sugarcane. So the node can turn yellow to reddish and dependent on weather and cultivar. So as you can see, yung kanyang nodes and internodes ay hindi gaanong nag-expand or lumalaki. So nagiging stunted, hindi siya lumalaki. Okay? And then we have also the stalk rot in coin or Enterobacter dissolvens. So ganyan, ini-infect niya mismo yung kanyang stem. Okay? At bigla na lang nababali yung kanyang stem. That cause a losses of yield doon sa crops natin, especially sa corn. And we have also the bacterial wilt in cucurbits, Erwinia trachyphylla or Pantuea stewart. Ganito, yung buong plants ay namamatay. Yan. And then we have also the potato blackleg or Pectobacterium caratovorum or in potato. So develop in more mature plants during the later part of the growing season and are distinguished from those that develop earlier in the season. So ganito yung potato blackleg. So merong portion na namamatay, may portion naman na healthy. So it means ang infection niya lang ay only in the stem. Okay, sa stem. So kapag lima yung stem niya, may ini-infect lang siyang dalawa or tatlo, nagye-yellowing. And then we have also the hollow blight of beans or Pseudomonas abastoni and sarangay, wherein yung pod infection can transfer to the seed insides. So ang nangyayari, uunahin niya munang magkaroon ng blight ang leaves, and then once na namunga ito, nagba-blight na din yung kanyang fruits. Na kung saan yung seeds niya hindi na na-form into normal seeds, kundi ay na-decompose na siya or namamatay, tumitigas. And then we have also the bacterial wilt or Ralstonia solanacearum. So, vegetable yung kanyang ini-infect. Okay? So, ganito yung kanyang itsura ng bacterial wilt. Yung buong plants ay nagkakaroon ng wilting. Kasi ang infection ay nandun sa mismong stem and sa roots. Okay? Once na i-dissect mo ito, merong infection ng bacteria. Leaf blight of rice or Xanthomonas oryzae. Di ko na-edit. So, leaf blight of rice, deadly bacterial disease that is among the most destructive affliction of the cultivated rice. So, it releases a milky ooze that dries into yellow droplets. Okay? Black rot cabbage or Xanthomonas campestris, ganito yung kanyang itsura. So, black rot is a systemic vascular disease and typically disease symptoms include V-shaped yellow lesions. So, nagkakaroon ng V-shaped yellow lesions doon sa upper lips niya na kung saan ay nagre-wrinkled or something ay nagsishrink. Yan. Or kaya ay nagfo-fold. Okay? Once na nagfo-fold siya, it means ay stress na siya on that particular bacteria. Okay? So, next meeting natin, i-discuss ko rin ang about sa mycoplasma. Okay? Ang mycoplasma ay part pa rin siya ng bacteria. Nakahiwalay lang siya kasi nga ay merong unique na structure ang meron sa mycoplasma na wala sa bacteria. But mycoplasma is a self-replicating bacteria din. Okay? So, thank you so much and I hope na meron kayong natutunan. Thank you.